Hey guys, so I have been asked to give my opinion on the bombshell revelations put out by Fred Hill that he and he alone knows who is responsible for the disappearance of Summer Wells. In fact, he has pointed the finger at one gentleman and said that he is responsible for her disappearance and that Fred is able to give us the location of Summer's body. Now, the name Fred Hill is not unfamiliar to anybody who has followed the Summer Wells case for any length of time. He is a resident of Ben Hill Road, and his name has come up in many videos over the last 2 years as creators tried to verify his whereabouts on the day of Summer's disappearance and see if there was any connection between him and the Wells family. And in fact, the one and only Don Wells has even thrown Fred's name out there. So let's look at this real quick. So Fred Hill lives on Ben Hill Road, and his name is kind of important in the Summer Wells case because there was allegations that Don went to Mr. Hill's home just hours after Summer Wells was reported missing. Furthermore, there has been accusations or speculation that Candace was on Fred's property. Now, supposedly, Fred was not home at the time, but that she was spotted on Fred's property earlier in the day when she was perhaps looking for Summer. So here recently, Fred, who has a pretty checkered past, got himself in trouble and is in jail currently. He started communicating with a creator who goes by Ziggy. And in this correspondence, he starts to spin this unbelievable tale of how he knows that a gentleman by the name of Roy Simpson, lovingly called Roy Cotton Simpson by friends and family, is responsible for the disappearance of Summer. He states that he has known this information for a little while now, but not too long. Now, Mr. Cotton is actually deceased. He died at the age of 59 in February of 2023 when he allegedly fell off a cliff. So here's the problem. A lot of people feel that this is just a crazy tale being spun by Mr. Hill. And I tend to agree that there's a good likelihood that this is not true. What his motive would or could be is, well, it could be as simple as just having somebody to talk to. Maybe he's lonely, maybe he doesn't have a lot, of people to communicate to or talk to while he's in jail. He seems a little smitten, in my opinion, with Ziggy. Maybe it's a way to just keep her interested and keep her talking to him. It could be that he wants money, commissary, the things that he may want or need while incarcerated, and he feels like, hey, if I give you something, you give me something, On the other hand, there's some possibility that he's telling the truth. That is a lot of information to come out with if you're absolutely making it up. Maybe he's not making up and he genuinely believes it himself, and it's not true, because I have listened to the jail recordings that Ziggy has put out multiple times, and I'm not really hearing, correct me if I'm wrong and you heard it, but I'm not really hearing where Fred is saying he got this information from. Is he saying that, that Cotton gave him this information himself, or, did he hear it secondhand? Because if he heard it secondhand, he may believe that it's true, but that does not mean that it is true. Sadly, because Mr. Simpson is deceased, we're never going to find out. Well, I mean, for the time being, we're not going to find out if it's true. He's certainly not here to dispute it. I've heard rumors that he named a location that Summer would be found in a cave at Laurel Park, I believe, where the waterfalls are, and that she was in water. And some people are saying that police are there searching, and other people are saying that they live in the area and they've seen no such search going on. So now, Mr. Hill claims that the police are aware of this, that he did disclose this to them, and that they have asked him to take a polygraph. And he says that he will. If that's true, that is going to really take this case in another direction. If he takes a polygraph and he's telling the truth, now of course he could still only be telling the truth that he believes it, that to his knowledge it's true. It doesn't mean that it is true. But let's just say for a second that he has really good firsthand knowledge and that he takes a polygraph, that he's telling the truth. That is really going to take this case to a whole other level, because it's been kind of stagnant now for a good long while. Now, here's the other thing. So, supposedly, there's another gentleman by the name of Chad Arnold that some people are saying is Mr. Simpson's cousin. That is not verified. And his name has come up before as possibly being around at the time that Summer went missing. So is there a connection there? I guess the bottom line is, as far as my opinion of it, I'm holding back judgment on this one for a minute. On one hand, I think that Mr. Hill has some motivation to lie. On the other hand, that is a huge lie, and he has to know that there would be so much backlash if it's found that he's not being truthful, but maybe he just doesn't care. If he is being truthful, I can understand that he went to the authorities, but that would be such huge, powerful, important information to share it so openly with a YouTube creator. Even if he had already told the authorities, like, he would have to know the authorities would not be okay with him talking from jail to a YouTuber and giving out this information that I would think, at least at this point, would be something that they would want to keep close to the vest while they at least investigated whether or not there was any truth to it. So those things make me a little wary, a little suspicious. But he could be telling the truth, and maybe either it just didn't dawn on him that the police wouldn't want him to talk, or he doesn't care because he either A has a crush on her, the creator, wants her financial help while he's in jail and wants to offer her something, or is just lonely and just talks without thinking through the consequences. I thought at one point that I heard him say he knew the information since February, but please don't quote me on that. But I could be just confusing that with the fact that Mr. Simpson passed away in February, because that would be too much of a coincidence that he's known it since February and the guy died in February. But, this case is so crazy. I mean, anything's possible. Tell me what your thoughts on it are. I guess I didn't really answer the question. What are my thoughts on it? I don't know. I think, like a lot of you, I'm I'm really hesitant to believe it, but at the same time, if it is true, it's really sad because then we would know that Summer was deceased. On the other hand, if they could find her remains, she could have a proper burial. Um, but I just don't know that I'm convinced that there's truth in this. This would be, for him to lie about this would be huge. I don't know. I don't know that anybody would put themselves in the position to lie about something like this. So for the moment, I'm going to say um, I'm watching closely. I'm I'm leery in terms of putting my faith in the story, but I'm not ruling it out. Does that answer the question? I hope that that answers it the best that I possibly can. I'm not believing it. I'm not disbelieving it. I'm just kind of holding on. Now, also, apparently he now may possibly be in confinement, or at least the jail is no longer giving people access to talk to him, via Zoom or phone or, whatever else. So, what does that mean? Is that just because maybe the jail is just overwhelmed with probably a lot of YouTubers calling, people in the public calling, everybody now wanting information? Or is it because they are investigating him and his accusations? And that's why they're keeping him from all of this, public talk right now. I don't know, but that's interesting. That is interesting. So, oh, another thing too is that, which you may already know, is that Mr. Simpson was retired from Warrior State Park. That did give me pause for a second because I know that Candace always had them kids up there swimming. So that did make me a little uneasy. I thought, well, did he see her? Did he take an unhealthy liking to her? Um, I don't know. But what a shame if he's completely innocent that his name would even get dragged into this, because that is just absolutely horrible to have on anybody's name, even the accusation if it's not true. He doesn't seem to have anything on his record. I mean, he's had some scrapes along the way, but nothing that would indicate, I don't think, that he would have done something like this, but you just never know. So hold on tight. I'm sure it's going to get even crazier. I will see you soon, and I hope that I answered it at least a little bit. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.